torture and knob and run the show. They slice through streams with a cutting knack. Hard cutting rebels never looking back. Screaming miners hear the code. Cut the cord, no chains at all. Mention blacks, take a drink with respect. Raise your glass and protect your Tech talk flows like a river wide. Kodi whispers on the digital tide. Bites and bits, the language they speak. Every Friday they unleash the geek. Streaming miners hear the code. Cut the cord, no chains at all. Mention blacks, take a drink with respect. Raise your glass and protect your Algorithms twist like a mace so tight. They'll guide you through with their sharp insight. From servers to streams, they light the way. Your digital Sherpas every Friday.
And we're live.
Hey, hello.
What's up with the heavy metal sound from the
Yeah.
80s?
That one was good.
That
I
was
like
hair
that one.
band music. That was
Yeah.
hair band music.
Yeah, I was shaking my head. I
Thank you,
was
Beach.
getting my hairs going.
Got my hairs going. That was a nice one. As of you guys that watch on a regular basis know, every week we have a different intro song. Thanks to Da Beach, who
Beach.
creates a different song for us every week. Different theme-ish feel. This week being that I don't know. Maybe it might have been the '90s metal band. I don't know if that was heavy enough for
the last couple
really good.
last couple of weeks were kind of funky, groovy, whatever. So
Yeah.
I like to mix it up. I
Yep.
was playing around. I came up with a really good Motown sounding one.
Yeah.
Sounded like old classic Motown. So
Oh, I want to hear
that's
that.
going to be coming up sometime. soon.
Okay.
Look at Redneck even
that's all
notices
that
Charles is early. Look at
I
Redneck.
know.
even-
I know. Early this time. I know this too. I'm like, what? Charles,
He's on time.
On time.
holy crap! How you doing, Charles? I missed you, man. I haven't
He-
seen you around.
He probably has a question about something. That's why he's here early.
Oh,
What's up? So it's my man Charles over there in the side chat. So thanks everyone over in the side chat as well. As thank you everybody on the panel. Eddie,
Can you hear
still
me?
on delay? Now, yeah, but you're still on delay. Go ahead.
Okay.
oh, you jumped out again. Oh man.
Yeah, he's having some PC problems.
Yeah.
So, but it's all good.
Router.
Yeah, thanks for everyone joining us on this show. We try to cover a lot of the tech news that you're probably not going to hear many other places. We try to give you information that's going to help you save money, try to make your cord cutting a little smoother, make you a little bit, make things run better at your home, and as well as saving money and watching what you want when you want. Oh my God. Speaking of seeing someone ain't seen somebody in a while,
Oh,
Mandy's over in the side chat. Hadn't seen
Wow.
her in forever. What's
Yeah.
up, Mandy?
Wow.
All right. So, hey, it's great to have guests. And thanks to everybody over in the side chat that's spending their live time to hang out with us losers. So it is awesome to have everybody here. And we'll get cranking on the tune on the the tech topics. We're going to be first. We'll talk about that for about an hour. Then we'll roll into Play or Pass, where we will be doing a movie review of Gladiator 2. We watched that. Hopefully you've watched it and you can give us your thoughts on that. And do you give it a play or a pass? So we're going to see what's going on. I'm going to let Charles, he's over there flirting on the side. I'm going to leave him alone.
Oh boy. It's funny that the both of them are in here, right?
No. Yeah, I think they drove together. I think they rode in together. They
Oh,
both came in
wow.
together. Look at Peter's even in hanging with us today. What's up, Peter? Have another person. I haven't seen him in a while, so hopefully he's able to hang out with us on the Oculus. William, greetings. What's up, my man? So let's go ahead and start hitting on some of the topics that that you run into. So hold on a second. Let me get my get my picture here. All right. And we're off. Okay. Am I good over there, Alvin?
You're good.
Okay. So we'll start with our Kodi news, and you guys know this is near and dear to my heart, any kind of these topics. So I just want to let some people know, and I've seen a lot of social posts about Asgard and some of the add-ons in Asgard and some issues. The repository went offline. It was a hosting issue. There was a corrupt file or a corrupt hard drive, and the repository and all the add-ons in the repository that were there went offline. I think after about a day, the hosting was brought back online, and the problem is that the repository has not been added. Asgard, which is the lost soul repository, has not been added back. Not sure if it is going to be back or when it's going to be back. We're really not sure. So if you're using Asgard or Shazam, Patriot, and a few of those other add-ons, you'll find that it's going to not load. You're going to click the add-on and it's going to give you a very small little menu because it's not able to access the files that it needs to, because those are not on the repository anymore. So hold tight. Once I have 100% verification of where that's going to go, I'll be happy to share that with folks. But just know that those add-ons are not going to load right now. Zero has created his own repository and has moved a few of the add-ons over. And anybody that's in our Streaming Matters Telegram room knows I had asked about the UK SoapBox because my mother-in-law watches it. So that was one of the add-ons.
Take care of your mother-in-law. Just remember that.
So
don't let me call you out here now.
Yeah, I'm not going to call you. Don't call me out. Don't call
we
me out.
are on strike here.
Don't try to get her. Don't pull her in on your strike. Do not pull her in on your strike.
Listen, I'll pull anything on my strike.
UK SoapBox is now been is in a different repository, and that is the Zero repository. Now, if you look down below, I have a link, the link to add to your file manager. Add that, and you can install the new repository, and then you can update or install those add-ons. So as of right now, the UK SoapBox is on Zero's repository. Zero Cinema is on the repository. And I read today, or it might have been yesterday, that Fights on Demand was going to be on that repository. No information about any other add-ons that's going to be in that repository. But as of now, those were the 3 that was posted that are going to be on that repository. So if you're a person that, hey, you use the UK SoapBox, that's where you're going to be able to find it. And all you'll need to do is put the URL in the file manager, download the new repo, and then what I did is clicked on I went into video add-ons, and then there was the UK SoapBox, and clicked to install. And what it'll do is, instead of looking towards the Lost Souls repository, the Asgard repository, it will look to 0 to get updates, the 0 repository. So that's going to be happening, or that's happening now. So hopefully that answers some questions. I know I've seen a ton of questions on a lot of the social media places, because we're talking about a lot of add-ons in that in the Lost Souls repository, the Asgard repository. They had lots of add-ons that people used all the time. So I've seen lots of things that I've tried answering those questions when I'm available or when I'm able to, saying, hey, it's offline right now, just wait. But as you guys listen to this, if you see those kind of social posts about, hey, Asgard's not working no more, you'll kind of know that, hey, the repository went offline and it's just not been replaced yet. So I don't know. I know that Jason, Spider, you use Kodi for a bit, and so I didn't know if you had anything that you wanted to add to that.
I don't use Asgard that much. Every once in a while, if it's something I can't find in like Umbrella or POV or something, I'll go into Asgard, because a lot of times he would have it. I might be able to find it in there, but it's definitely not. It wasn't one of my main daily use ones. And a couple of the builds that I use, I noticed that, it's not one of the big ones that's in their builds. Usually you got to kind of like hunt. They've got it, but it's not right there in the one sub menu. You might have to go back into additional add-ons to find it and stuff.
Right.
So, I mean, you always hate to see an add-on go away, because, more is better. But it's also, being a developer in Kodi is not it's free job. You don't get paid for it, but you get a lot of use for it. So.
Yeah, you get it, and that is 100% right. Go ahead.
Yeah, being a Kodi developer is kind of like working for the show. You bust your ass for fucking nothing.
You nothing.
Hey, you
and
get the
live.
pats on the back.
And
I say
we're
thank you all the
live.
time.
And
Thank
we're
you a lot all
live.
the time.
We're live. What
Where's
would
my
happen
mute? But I gotta mute
if those
two.
Kodi developers were trying to create something and it had to be live? Okay, it had to be live for you developers.
Well, sometimes they do. They have live add-ons. They have a lot of live.
Oh
but,
no, not the.
So I will move on. These guys are whiners. We're gonna, but it is a lot. It is a pain. We've talked about this on the show a lot. To be a developer, Kodi developer, is a pain in the ass. To be honest, it's you're doing shit every single day, updating, changing, doing all kinds of stuff all the time, and all you normally get is someone saying, hey, this ain't working, or hey, that ain't working. And they're all quick to complain. So, hey, and none of them are making any money. And so I can see where, I mean, I did it way back when Blue and I doing Bob way back in. And I'm going to tell you, it loses its excitement really quick, updating every single day. So that's why I always give massive shout outs and props to guys that are updating every single day. And we know some of the add-ons. I'm in their groups and I see them every single day updating 10, 15 shows every single day, movies every day. And it's like, man, take it. Yeah, I mean, I don't want that pressure. I wouldn't want it. But respect to people that are willing to do it. And so we'll see. Once I hear something officially about it, I will let people know. But as of right now, it's kind of a hold tight and just wait. The licensing. Now I wish we had Andrew in here today.
Yeah, I know.
So
maybe Eddie could answer some of it for us.
So TV licensing. The TV licensing. So this, for us on this side of the pond, we don't understand TV licensing. So in the UK, for you to watch live TV, you have to, and had to, this has been years and years ago, that you had to buy a license so that you could watch TV. And this money was collected to help BBC or whoever that the money went to. But you were supposed to have this license. Well, this has went on for decades. Well, as we went to streaming, there hasn't been a need for people to go get a TV license because they're not watching live content. Well, now Netflix and Disney Plus are offering live content. Disney now has the UEAF Women's Championship League is now going to be broadcast. 75 games, I think, is what it is. Going to be on Disney Plus. So now that Disney Plus is showing live content, people should have a TV license, which I think I'm not sure if I saw it here, which is currently £174 per year to watch live TV.
On the BBC side.
Well, no, to watch live content, you are supposed to have a license. Now that
right
to watch live TV,
right?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, because I thought you meant like you said before that it goes to like the BBC or whatever.
Well, I think it's to help fund the BBC.
So that's not including, this Disney Netflix.
Correct.
Right now. Okay.
Right. So they've said that now that Disney Plus has moved into the live, that if a person is watching Disney Plus and watching live content, they must have a license. So this is a yearly license. We watched the show. Well, remember we watched the movie on this.
Yeah, the movie.
Player Pass. Where the guy said he wasn't going to pay that TV license. This is back in the 60s or something.
Yeah.
But this is changing for the people in the UK where they went to streaming and they didn't have to pay for that licensing. Now that these services have went to live TV, they're going to have to pay for these licenses. I think the fine on it was $1,000, or excuse me, £1,000 fine, £1,000 fine. Potentially ending up in court. In rare cases is jail, but it's $1,000 fine. And so they supposedly have some type of equipment that they can be in your neighborhood and tell if you're watching live content, and then they can see if you have a license, and if you don't, then they can issue a ticket.
I know they used to. Go ahead.
Yeah, with like old aerial antennas and everything, they could track it down. But I mean, it's just not a reason to get IPTV service.
Yeah.
I mean,
but this way, if you have to pay, you're paying whatever, 100 and some pounds. I mean, I can get 2 IPTV services for that. I mean, I can get 3 with the one I know of, and
yeah, but they're
24 fucking screens.
But they're already hammering those guys out there anyhow.
Right.
And that's unfortunately.
That's well, we can talk every week about some IPTV getting shut down. So yeah, it's a license. This is license, and to me, it's just another tax. And it for the people in the North America, where we have over the air, we can free over the air. It's not a problem. To think about, hey, I gotta pay $175 just to be allowed to watch live TV. It's like, what the hell?
I wonder if there are any other countries that do that.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe
if anybody out there knows. Please say something.
I never heard of nothing except for UK.
Yeah, so have I. But why in the hell would they, keep up with something like that in this day and age?
Well, all right. Anytime a tax has been added.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard about them getting rid of a tax?
Right.
No.
I mean, once a tax is added, They'll even. I don't care if they tell you that it's temporary. I don't care. I don't care if it's a state tax, a local tax, a federal tax. If they say, "Oh, this is temporary for 2 years, we're going to pay this tax," and then after that, it's over. Never has that tax went away.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. You know, remember when we came over to the good old USA from over there?
Tax on tea.
The tea tax, okay? It was a tea tax. We came here and said, "Look, this shit, okay?" Good old Boston Tea Party, okay?
Yeah. Everybody's throwing their TVs in the things.
Yep.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Beach.
Quick Google here, real quick, and it says the United Kingdom, Germany, France, Ireland, Italy, Japan, and South Africa are countries that have TV licenses.
Wow. Say those again. UK,
Ireland,
UK,
France, Germany.
Hold on. Yeah. Okay. The UK, Germany, France, Ireland, Italy, Japan, and South Africa.
Japan too. Wow. Wow. I'm surprised that Japan would be doing that.
Yeah. The reason why they say they added this tax, and when we watch the movie, it's supposed to help the infrastructure for free over-the-air BBC, and that's where that funding comes from. But I don't know, 174 pounds per person, per household. That's a lot of money. Yeah. That's a lot. Yeah. So you gonna tell me they need all that money?
Well, no. Well, look at. Think of what is how much is it a year for Netflix or Disney even Disney Plus? How much do they want a year for that?
Yeah. Well, you're talking Disney can be anywhere from $12 to $20 a.
Okay, so let's call it 12. Would be nice. And you're calling it 12.
We call it 12. It's probably that's the ad support.
Yeah. You go for that for a freaking year.
144 bucks.
Right. On top of what that other, 100 something. That's ridiculous.
And if you look in the side chat there, I give you a wiki. There's 17. What I've seen, 17 countries that require TV licenses. One thing about the UK, if you're blind, you get a 50% discount on your which drops it down. Okay, which drops it down from I just had it.
Was it about 170 bucks or 70 bucks?
It's 174.50 per year, but if you're blind, they drop it down to 58.50 per
what
year.
A deal.
So
what a deal!
There you go.
And I don't know. I had seen no TV.
I don't know if it's still the same, but that used to be per TV, not per household. So if you had 2 TVs, you had to pay that for each TV.
Wow.
Yes.
Because that's how people used to try and skirt it. They'd go buy like 2 or 3 TVs and then have one license. And then somebody mentioned in the side chat that they have vans, and I've seen this, that would go around and they could tell how many TVs you had in your house or even in apartment buildings.
That's stupid.
So just a tip to our friends in the UK: find a blind person when you go to sign up for your TV license next year. Offer them £10, or a couple pints. Go into the license office, get your 50% discount. There you go, saving you money.
Wow, Todd, you gotta open up that thing that Dave put out there, and you gotta show that because that's insane. It's just absolutely insane to me.
Hey, Debs, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, good.
All right. Okay. And you actually sound like you're not that far behind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
He responded.
If you scroll down, it breaks it down by country. Shows you how much.
Yeah, look
there
at
you
that.
go.
There you go.
It tells you
that up.
If they have one, it tells you how much it is a year. So
I remember when I was in the UK, if you had a radio in your car, you had to pay one too.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, hell no. I can see that now. I'm trying to go down the street playing some Biggie, and I'm going to get, pulled over by a van with a, thing that is trying to.
A little skinny white dude. little
Right,
skinny white
yeah.
dude comes. excuse me, sir.
Well,
Have you got your license?
for a long time, it was illegal to broadcast radio other than BBC. That was it.
Right.
That's all that was allowed in the UK.
Yeah. In my days, it was BBC.
Oh,
When I left,
Yeah.
I think in 1958, the ITV came up.
mm.
Okay.
Oh, it's cheaper.
That was
for white
BC,
TV.
right, Eddie?
What?
That was BC, you said, right?
Easy.
No. Yeah, BC.
That's crazy. Crazy.
That is.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people over, primarily the EU, a lot of EU companies that are getting dinged.
Well, and then we have the people why are people pirating live TV? Why are people IPTV? Why are people doing this and that? Well, this is just the TV licensing and then this and that. It's like, why do you mean that you're wondering why? I mean, this is not rocket science why people are doing it. I mean, this is
I was just read an article today on Torn Freak where they're talking about pretty much 50% of the men in Sweden use illegal IPTV.
Yes, I read that article too.
Wow.
Yeah.
But was it one? I think that was the one they said it was down though. Was that the one where something like the numbers had went down from last year overall?
Because they've been cracking down on them.
Yeah.
Big time.
Really.
But
Were they just using it for their porn, or?
Ain't nobody cracking down on porn. People watch all they want on that. Ain't
No.
nobody stopping that.
My state's cracking down on porn.
Oh, so
Wow.
so how is that going to work? I mean, so to give folks that may not understand or know that this is happening. So now it has been given, the states can ban access to porn websites that were available prior, youth porn or whatever ones. So now certain states can say, we're going to ban that. So is it another reason why people are just going to get a VPN and just change your location?
Yep.
And then you're right in. I mean,
It's not a ban. What they do is you have to have a way to verify that someone's an adult. Either a credit card or you gotta take a picture of their ID or whatever. And some sites don't want to deal with that stuff, so they're like saying, "Screw it, we just want to allow you to access our site if your IPN comes or your IP address comes from that state." And you're right, a VPN gets right around it, but.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go with U.S. state age verification laws for adult content. And I don't know. I mean, should we make sure kids don't have access to adult content? Yes, we should. But also, that's got to be some of the parents' responsibility,
right?
To do that kind of stuff. I think sometimes we expect some law to step in and be the parent or to be the heavy instead of a parent saying, you know what? No, you're not, because you can put filters on phones. You can put blocks on your Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Those are all things you can that a parent can do.
Yeah.
But then it's like, no, we don't want to do that. We're just going to let the state or the government handle this for us. When has the government handled shit like this better than you could yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Never. And then they're going to figure out some tax to add to it. We got to run this program. Well, we need to get funding for it. So if VPN, they're going to work around it. And I mean, I do think that it's needed in a way, but I also think that parents need to take responsibility for some of this situation.
Yep.
And if your kid's getting content, if your kid's getting access to stuff like that, well, you need to take your responsibility as a parent, because I just think too many times we, let the government handle this for us. Oh shit.
And you can go on X and Reddit and see the same stuff that you're going to see on adult sites, and they're not blocking those.
Right.
So it doesn't. It's not really. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's
So, but these are all your states that do it. 24 states have enacted stuff to block that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I forgot about the states. So, yeah, well, sorry, Jason, you're not allowed to watch any more adult content. Sorry.
that's why I have a VPN.
VPN. Hey, I'm controlling the VPN with my left hand and can't tell you what to write.
My neighbor told me it works to get around it.
My neighbor. It's a good thing you had good neighbors. All right, so Android 16 is not available. It is on the horizon, but they mentioned some of the features it's going to have. Now, people say, what's Android for TV? So Android TV is what's going to be on a lot of your is the on-box running Android TV, isn't it? Or is that running Google TV?
Well, Google TV.
Right.
So it's going to run. It's what's going to run on these Android boxes or Android devices. I shouldn't just say boxes, devices. A lot of them are running Android TV. So that is what, and Android 14 or Android 14 for TV is out right now. And Google says they weren't going to implement 15. They're going to skip it altogether and wait for 16 to come out. So some of the stuff that was talked about in this article, and if you guys aren't sure, any of the links that we have here in the show, they're down below. You can read them for yourselves whenever's convenient. So some of the stuff that you're able to make color changes. So the color changes that you would set on your TV, you can go through and actually make those changes on the device, which kind of does make sense, because haven't you guys ever had a device and you plug it up through HDMI to the TV and the picture looks different than it does on another device that you plug in the same TV?
Yeah.
So this is giving you the opportunity for, on the device itself, we can adjust that color to not, let's say you have a Blu-ray player on it, you got an Android device on it, you got something else, so that you're not messing up the color on your TV for your Blu-ray. You're to make your Android box work with it. So I think this is cool. I like this idea of being able to adjust the colors inside the device itself. Another big thing that I think people are going to like is the spatial audio format. I didn't even know about this stuff. Did you guys ever hear of spatial audio format?
I've heard of it. I tell you what it is.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be a competitor to Dolby Atmos, but it's not. Like Dolby, you got to pay a license for.
Yes.
And I think that's a license-free version of it.
All right,
If I remember right.
That'll make sense, because yes, Dolby Vision you do pay for that to use that software on something. You got to pay for that. So it's going to give support to that. Various improvements of media playback, speed, consistency, efficiency, HDMI CEC. That's where you're able to use one remote to control multiple things. Optimization for let's see it. No, this does not. This is the part. This is the spatial. So it also is going to add the ability, not during 16, I guess further down the road, that you're going to be able to use the 64-bit OS, which, what does that even make sense? We've had 64-bit devices, the NVIDIA Shield and numerous other devices.
Yeah.
But they always run under 32-bit because 64-bit is not part of the OS. You know what I mean? Because you can
like
see
when you're getting like Windows and you're buying a 64-bit version.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying it's not, or?
Well, no, because it would be like because sometimes I've seen it to where you have two different versions that you can install.
Yeah. Right.
But a lot of Android TV is running 32-bit, so you couldn't install the 64-bit of the software.
Software on it. Okay.
Because it wouldn't be compatible. So supposedly it's coming closer that it's going to be 64-bit actually able to run on it. I do think, yeah, go ahead.
The processors have been like my Android smart TV has a 64-bit processor in it, but you're right, it's limited to 32-bit only because that's all Android TV supports. And I didn't realize that until I went to put Kodi on it, and I'm like, oh, I got a 64-bit chip. We'll get 64-bit version of Kodi, and what do you know? I can't open it. And I'm like, what the hell's going on?
It'll say, what's it say? Something about a package
parser error or something.
Parser.
I can't remember what it is.
Parser.
And I was like, what the heck? And then I go, okay, let me try the 32-bit version, and it works. And then when I'm like Googling the TV, they're like, oh yeah, this is pretty common. That even though your phone runs 64-bit versions, the TVs, a lot of the Android TV devices don't. So,
So it's I don't know. So at some point in the future, they're laying the groundwork for 64 to actually run on TVs. A rating system is going to be available on your Android TV box or device, where you're going to be able to rate it.
Rate what you're watching.
Yeah, like if you watch a show, and kind of like Plex. Well, does Plex let me? Yeah, I guess Plex does if I back out. I know with Tracked, it asks me after I get done watching a show, I can rate it right then. But you can.
You can rate it at any time in Plex.
So that's coming to be able to rate. Let's see. One of the other big things is that they're going to do more support to help with low RAM devices. This is geared towards your TVs because low RAM, most TVs don't have a lot of RAM. So you try to install a bunch of apps on your TV, and because you're going to say, oh, it has Android, I can install Kodi and I can put all these things on my TV. Well, your TV only has so much RAM. Most TVs aren't going to have a lot. Usually you're going to see a gig, maybe 2 gigs, but not much over that. So supposedly the work that's going in this is to make it easier for low RAM devices to run smoother. And again, like I said, I think that's they're thinking of all the TVs that are coming out, and people keep cramming all this stuff on their TVs, along with the AR aspect of it. They're looking to make it easier for AR devices to run Android TV. So that's just some work. And again, I don't remember seeing where it said that it was even when it's going to be released. This is nothing. Yeah, they showed this last week. Yeah, so I don't even see any kind of date on this. So again, we're just giving you some information about some stuff that's down the road, but very well we may see this in the next year. We'll be seeing some of these features. And we read this article. This was posted in our group about Gmail and the fraud that's happening. And this is really something for people to pay attention to, because a lot of times we spot where an email's coming from or who's sending that email, and we ignore it. Oh man, this is is it giving the block for you guys?
Oh yeah.
That damn thing. Of course it wants me to. Hold on a second. All right. Well, I'll just talk through without it. So what's happened? Well, hold on. Let me try. I got to try to pull that up because it has some of the things to look for. Because a lot of times we look at an email and we see who it's from, and a lot of times right away we think a spam or not spam. And these emails look super official. Let me change it. See if this is the one. This is the... All right, is Forbes gonna turn around and make me pay? You bitch.
Yeah, of course they will.
Yeah, Forbes is good. Let me see if let's see if I can just get through this article without getting some crap poked up. Yeah. Boom. All right, there we go.
No,
We're in.
There we go. We're good.
All right. So something, and this is it'll come into your Gmail and it's going to look really official. Let's see. Let me try to make this bigger. One of the things you've got to look for is where it's coming from. This no reply. A lot of times we've seen that no reply when you get just information from a number of different companies. It says no reply. So they're just, hey, you're logging in. Here's your code or whatever it is. It's a no reply. And so a lot of times we think, oh, that's legit because it's no reply. But one of the things you got to watch for is what the hackers have done is they've created to make it look like it's coming from Google. They're using the sites.google.com, and they're able to create an account it's like a no reply account. And so when you look at it, you're going to think that it's not that it's legit. One of the things it says you'll have pretty clued up that you notice if it wasn't a genuine accounts google.com when you log in. And what'll happen is if you click it, because it's going to say you need to fix something, you click it and then you log into this website. Now they have your username and password to your Gmail account, which may be access to a lot of other things depending on how much you use the same password. So be super, super careful moving forward when you get these no replies from Google saying, hey, you need to verify your account. Your account's at risk. You're in danger. A lot of times it's like you need to act now. Be very, very careful because once you go in, you put your Gmail information in there, you're SOL. Your account has been compromised.
Yeah.
And it kind of plays along with this massive data breach exposure of 184 million passwords and logins were on the internet just sitting out there with in plain text, username, password, website that it goes to. And this was found, somebody had found it. One of the security people for a company was found and ended up finding it with 184 million accounts in there. So this was in earlier this month. So just know, and again, it's not just one website. These emails include addresses, passwords, usernames, your URLs for platforms as Google, Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, Snapchat. So any of those accounts can be compromised. So again, both these topics kind of run together. You've got to be careful of your content. And Alban, what do you use to keep yourself to protect your neck?
My neck. What do you mean for?
You actually use a hardware device that a password manager.
Yeah.
I mean, you use that. It's like a physical USB shit that's on your thing that holds all your passwords physically.
Yeah.
So that none of yours is even on the cloud. It's not on a safe cloud. It's in your damn possession.
In my house, that I have a cloud that circles my hard drives because it's downloading so much crap. Okay, that's my cloud. Okay.
So you got to protect yourself on these kind of situations. It's not if your username and password gets leaked. It's just when and which ones. And if you're one of those people, like 95% of the people in the world that use the same password amongst all of their platforms because it's easier, because is it hard to remember all the passwords? Oh yeah, it is. So once they get it to one, who says that they don't try it on another account because they got in
immediately?
And if it's your Facebook account, okay, or your Twitter account or Gmail account, yeah, it sucks, it's bad. But if you're using the same type of password situation or information on a banking or your crypto or your stock portfolios, that's when things can go, oh, that's a real pain in the ass, to, oh, wait, that just ruined my whole life. So a couple things in this article. Again, this article's, they're selling some shit, so I'm not going to go through all the shit because it's websites trying to sell you crap. So some of the things you can do to protect yourself: change your password on your platforms. So don't keep the same password on all your platforms, and don't keep them the same for long periods of time. Come up with some type of a system in your head, or able to write down. Try to come up with some kind of system that you're able to keep track of where your password is, or as like Albin's got a hardware password device. So change your passwords on a semi-regular basis, keeping track of it, not using it. And again, here it's pushing NordPass and all that stuff, but enable two-factor authentication. So many of us hate it when we have to do the two-factor. There's nothing more than I hate when I go to log in at work and it says, oh, we're going to send you an email or a text. Give us the code. And we hate it. And we want to turn it off. But it's there to protect you, because if somebody got your username and password and they try to log into your account, you want that second verification that they can't get in. So you can turn that. Most websites are really leaning towards that second factor, that it's almost makes it mandatory, but some don't. If it's available, use it. Use it. It's going to keep you safe. Watch for any unusual activity, of course, especially if it's, if I know Twitter, if another account logs, or another IP address logs into my Twitter, it sends me a notification. Don't ignore those kind of notifications. If you didn't log in from someplace different, or using a VPN, and so that means sometimes VPNs will make it think you're someplace else. But unusual activity, do something about it. Don't ignore it. Invest in personal data recovery services. All right. So again, they're trying to sell you some stuff. You can. That's up to you. I'm not sure if people want to, pay for online insurance kind of situation. That's what this is. It's like you're paying for identity theft insurance is what you're paying for. And that's up to you to decide. Let me see. There was 4 or 5. Avoid clicking on suspicious links and use strong antivirus software. Yes. You're not wanting to install crap from wherever. You got to be smart about where you install stuff. And when you get an email, be very, very, very careful with your link. We have my work does this on a regular basis. They'll send emails out trying to catch you on being a dumbass and clicking the link.
Oh, okay.
And when you click when you click it, it'll send you an email saying, you were just the victim of a possible phishing scheme. You shouldn't do this. And then they send you need to go in and rewatch the online security a webinar little thing that they want you to do. So again, just be smart about what links you're clicking on. Just be very, very careful, because some of them look, as we said about that last article, when it comes in through Gmail, through Google, and it looks legit. And if you don't really look hard, you're not going to spot. So I'm you know what? I don't click. I mean, it has to be something I really, really trust to click it. Keep your software up to date, not running old, because usually the big security flaws are patched by software companies or your OS for major security flaws. But they can't fix you from being a dumbass.
Right.
They can't fix it if you just going through there and clicking shit. So be smart about what you click, because you click it, the wrong click, and next thing you know, you're in a world of shit. So I didn't know. Did you guys have any thoughts on security breaches? Because we gotten away from talking about this every single week. Because for a while, that's all we talked. We talked about it every week. And I got tired. I was like, we got to talk about something else.
Yeah. No, they're still getting into everybody's shit though. That's for sure.
Hey, what's that? What's the device you have?
The multipass.
That's right.
Multipass.
I always think
M-
multipass. We have a multipass.
Multipass. MOOLI.
Wait, MOO.
Yeah, MOO.
Yeah.
LTIPASS. I don't think it's at that site. Just do the search for them first. I don't. Does it come up there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. This usually just does this.
I'll get the link for you.
This one, hardware authentic.
Well, then, yeah.
Authenticator.
Yeah.
What is up with my browser being like in slow motion?
You just hit a phishing scam.
Yeah, talk about not clicking shit, dumbass. Hold on here. Because didn't you buy that? Is it?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna get you the link.
What's up with? I'm not
You
even
really want to have that in Canada.
It's themultipass.com. Hold on. Here we go. Check the private.
All right, Jesus. How did it get so damn difficult?
Yeah, I know.
Copy link.
Oh, the site can't be reached. Hold on. Before you hit that.
Yeah, that is. Look at. I'm clicking on the. Why is it not loading?
It's not loading.
No, it's. I don't want to have to turn my VPN on.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just getting it's not a not secure website.
Oh, that's what Vivaldi's probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just saying it's not a secure web, not secure.
Yeah, and it's not safe. So, all right. Well, the multipass.
The multipass.
Multi. So I'm trying to think. Where did you buy that from?
I bought it online at their site.
Oh, so it was like not Amazon or something.
No, it wasn't.
I wonder if Amazon sells it. Look at the multipass. Multipass. We have the multipass. Yeah, this doesn't have it because I remember I saw the picture of it when you did it.
Yeah.
All right. So the multipass, we'll have to post that in the Telegram room.
Oh, you ready for that already?
Well, no, you can talk about any of the other stuff. I just was trying to get this tab ready. So
okay.
Because that was all of our topics that we had. Unless did anybody have any questions? Because I didn't have the window open.
I didn't see any questions before. Let's see here.
Multipass. Look, we didn't even talk about Plex, and I even had my alcohol.
Yeah. Something. What did
Look at there, Eddie. A little bit of. Let's see.
What is it?
Gin smash. There you go. There,
No.
Eddie, you can see it.
Hold on. There you go.
Gin smash.
Gin smash.
Okay.
You don't have that over. You don't have that over there. It's like a strong cooler. But
Yeah.
it's quite good. Nice.
What did you buy for the liquor store?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good. It's got nice little tart flavor. It's not overwhelming.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Let me get the.
Sinners.
Yeah. We're well. I know my wife wanted us to watch that for this coming week, and her vote was that we had a wheel that had 95% Sinners, and because it is a new movie, and so.
Well, so which one are we going with? Are we going with the real one?
Going with the legit wheel or the rigged wheel?
I don't know. I'll go with the rigged wheel if we needed to. But again, it's a give everybody a vote.
You could go with the rigged one, but she should come on, even if just on the phone. I mean it really.
I know.
I'll put it this way, or come in and watch it in big screen with us.
Yeah.
I yell up to her and say, "We will make Sinners the movie for next week if she will come and watch it in big screen."
Okay, hold on a second. So
Okay.
Here's our live.
All right.
Hey, babe. Babe. I think she went downstairs. I think she. All right, we can make her do that. I say we make her do it.
No, I want her in the room.
I want verification.
I you know.
All right. Hold on a second. Hold on.
If not, we're gonna just go back to
Damn right. You thought we were on strike before.
Yeah, I know, right?
It'll be a walkout. See, all of how I tried to negotiate.
Yeah. They want you to be on the show, but you gotta, say that you're gonna come watch it in big screen. No, Todd, I don't want to be in big screen with you. I don't like watching movies with you, with everyone else. I'll only watch them together with you in our bed.
All right, I'm back.
I'm back.
See, hey, this is a live show. We got all kinds of stupid shit.
Well, where is she?
She's downstairs painting.
So
she's downstairs working. And she said yes. So she said yes, she would watch it with us in big screen.
I didn't hear it though.
She told me. She didn't. She don't lie.
Go log on your phone into the Streaming Matters and go downstairs and verify it. Okay.
She said you're a weirdo. That's what she did say. She didn't say you're a weirdo. She says you guys are weird. Is what she said.
Well, think about it. Think about it, Todd. It's been how long since you've been on a show with?
Oh, I know.
No, you don't know.
Oh, I do.
Years.
I was there.
Years. Years.
You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear it.
Hello, did you mean to call me?
Yes,
Yeah.
I meant to call you. So you're live on air, just to let you know. And the guys want verification that you said you would come watch this in big screen because Alban seems to think you're a bold-faced liar. So just saying, he wanted verification.
Yeah, I will be there. I promise.
Okay.
Okay. He says okay.
It'll be next week at
6 o'clock.
Yeah.
6 o'clock. All right.
All right, then.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Painting.
Bye,
I mean, yeah, that
Love
was, that was like a proof of life hostage call.
Yeah.
When somebody's taken a hostage, they go, okay, I'm not doing anything until I hear their voice.
Hey man, listen.
All right.
I watch
So
a lot of them types of movies.
All right. So yes, she said she would watch it. So then we don't need to spin the wheel.
No wheel.
So we're gonna stick with Sinners for this week, for next week. All right.
There we go.
As much as Michael B. Jordan
Sucks.
can act, yeah, we're gonna We're gonna go with it. And so, Sinners is the movie of the week. Here, let me go ahead and pull this up for folks, so we can, in case you're not sure what this movie is, the digital release. Ooh, wrong word. There we go. This dropped digitally this week. So Michael B. Jordan. So we're gonna see how this is. You know, this is the movie for next week. Look at there, it's got an 8.0.
Yeah, but it was Andrew's pick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Andrew.
Yeah. Well, it was Blue's pick really, because she was pushing for it. So all right, so that's what we're watching next week. That's what we're watching. Alvin, anything else you want to before we go into player pass? You want to cover the sports or?
Yeah, we might as well do all that stuff first, since you changed the whole lineup of everything.
I didn't change that much.
Well, since we screwed up last week, and I said that we have yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it was me. I screwed up because I didn't look at the date, and I, figured, okay, yeah, we have UFC Fight Night last week, and it did say May 31st, and I wasn't thinking that was the following week. So all of us were looking for fights last week. Luckily enough, we had slap fights to watch, but the fight night is going to be tomorrow at the Apex, and it's actually starting at 6:30 p.m. now. They changed it because they had like almost 3 cancellations, and 6:30 for the prelims. The main card is at 9 p.m.
Okay.
So Blanchard against Barber.
I think what happened is we talked about last weekend. We talked about it on Friday's show, and almost all the IPTVs added it to Saturday's lineup.
Yeah,
it was in the channels, and I think it's because those IPTV services are listening to us.
Always.
And so they're like, oh well, there's got to be a fight this weekend.
Yeah,
we heard about it on Streaming Matters, and because I saw it listed, I'm like, what? And then it wasn't loading, so I was like, oh.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, we don't have to do a wheel, and we have our. We're gonna switch over. We're gonna.
All right.
Hit that other thing there.
Ready to go?
I'm not gonna hit. You want to hit the other thing on the left first, or you want to wait?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Gotta switch first.
Yeah. There you go.
Then
we can. All right.
They do. Hey, John. They are been missing my wife pretty bad. They want her on the show terribly. She keeps blowing us off.
It was like
Yeah.
It was even before. It was even before the first year you guys were married was up.
I know.
Okay.
Well, there's a lot of things about that first year of marriage that happen that don't happen later on, from what I've read. I've read about it. Let's see. Oh, I was trying to think of myself. I was like, what movie did we just watch?
Gladiator 2.
All right, Gladiators. So I guess it's not Gladiator 2.
No, Gladiator. Oh, it is.
Wait,
No, I thought I had a 2.
it's Gladiator 2. Wait a minute. They tried to get me. This is you know how they do those movies that come out and they try to get you with like it released at the same time.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
that's what that was. That was Gladiators.
The 0.4 movies,
Yeah. So this week's movie is Gladiator 2. So we're gonna roll back the time, and what was it? 1995 is when the other one was. So this part of the show will give spoilers. So if you've not seen it, you've been warned. Give us your thoughts over on the side chat as we're talking about this movie, and we're each going to give our honest opinion of this movie and what we think, and if we're going to give it a play or a pass. So the floor is open, gentlemen.
My movie, I'll start, I guess.
Okay.
It wasn't bad. I didn't think it was good as the original, as Gladiator. It's not like Star Wars where the second movie was better than the first. It's definitely one of those trilogies where, or I shouldn't say trilogies, sequels that went downhill a little bit. Still a pretty good movie overall. Fun to watch. Some of the scenes, like where they flood the Coliseum and they have the boats out there, and then when he's fighting the monkeys at the beginning, the kind of weird looking drugged up monkeys or whatever they had back then. It was pretty neat to see that kind of stuff. But overall, it didn't put me to sleep, and I wasn't like in my headset popping up a browser and going surfing and watching something else while that was going on in the background, like I do sometimes with some of the movies.
What?
Oh,
No.
man. That sounds like all you guys are doing that, and I can't do that. I'm forced to watch it. You guys.
Okay, for me,
go ahead.
for me, I like this movie. The only thing is, since I got cataracts, I couldn't get the full color contrast as I wanted to. But the story itself was pretty good. The only thing I didn't really like about was when, if you go by history, they didn't have baboons, in the field when they were, they were attacking everybody. It was lions, I think they used.
Yeah.
But all in all, it was a good movie. It kept me intense for a while, but I had to look away because my eyes are messing up on me. The costumes, I really liked the costumes. The costumes were great. I got a flashback. I watched Denzel Washington. There's a spot in the movie where he's dressed, and he turns around and he walks away really quick. I don't know if it's his gait or it's just he does it like that. But I had a flashback of him and Spike Lee walking away the way he was walking in Gladiator and in Malcolm X. And I said, gee whiz, I said, does he walk like that? Or does he does it on his own? I don't know. But anyway, that was good. When I saw that, I had to go back and check it out again, and it did the same thing. The section where they flooded the Coliseum with the water, and I noticed, okay, how much can a shark eat?
That came up when we were watching in big screen, Eddie.
Yeah.
How much? I'm saying, okay, first of all, it's a white shark, okay? And all people are dropping all over the place. The shark is going like crazy. But listen, how much can that eat?
Well, it looked like there was multiple sharks, to be fair.
Yeah.
When they looked at looking down, you see kind of, it looked like multiple sharks. Now they were hungry. I mean, them sharks, they starved them. Yeah, here's a picture of the, you see here, here's a shark, here's a shark, and I think there's a couple over here. So we all had a problem with this because too many times over here, the places they went down, so they were always walking up to the stadium, like with the Coliseum. They were always walking up. So I'm like, well, you're never going to seal that off to where water wouldn't run down there. If it was just a complete bowl, and I would have seen them always walking down into the Coliseum, the fighters, then I would have said, oh, it's just a solid bowl. Yeah, you can flood it. A lot of water, though. I mean, to have these ships going around in there, that wasn't like 2 inches of water. So it's dramatic, and but we did all kind of definitely have a laugh at what was going on.
But I didn't find it long. I thought it was going to be really, you get bored, you start looking at your watch or so, your phone. But I really kept my attention. I liked it.
It was over 2 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, well, that speaks to it, though. I mean,
What a rhino.
all right,
All right, right, like
go ahead.
Yeah, right
ahead,
there. Like I said last night when we were watching it, the first time I saw the guy coming out on a rhino, it just made me think of Alex Karras and Blazing Saddles riding a freaking bull.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that was stupid. All right, the whole freaking baboons. They're fighting the baboons. There were several of them in that ring.
Right.
So the Lucius kills the one baboon, and just all the other baboons just said, I guess we're done fighting now.
Yeah.
We can quit. So it's like they just show him standing there in the background. So I mean, he had issues with that, and then I mean, the sharks. Yeah, okay, we're just gonna have these live sharks in a giant aquarium. That works good. But there's a lot, and really what annoyed the shit out of me was the freaking flashbacks to the first Gladiator. Okay, I saw the first movie. I know what the fuck's going on. I don't need to see all this stupid shit. It's like you just want to put Russell Crowe in the movie just because you can, or whatever. If you wanted that, bring him back as a fucking ghost. Ooh, I'm your daddy.
They probably got to pay him less. They got to pay him less when it was a flashback.
Yeah,
because it was actually footage from the original Gladiator.
Right. Well, what I'll say is that they said that the he didn't Ridley Scott didn't have to pay him any money. What's his name? We just said
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. Any money because of all of the licensing and stuff from the first one, and Ridley knew that he was going to be using all of these images, and he still paid him $50,000, and he didn't have to. So that was nice of Ridley Scott, the director, to do something like that.
And I forget what the scene was when Denzel was being Denzel, and I said, "Ooh, it's like Training Day BC."
Yeah.
That's the scene where he grabs a knife and he's killing the one emperor.
With one brother.
Oh yeah. There you go.
They're doing that. It's like, really? I mean, it didn't take but us one stab and you're done. Why do we have to? And Denzel's got that look like what?
Right there when he killed him.
No, this is in the water. This is
that's where Denzel gets killed.
Yeah, that's when he gets killed.
He's like, "This is where I own you, white man. Yeah. I own your ass." Beach, are you done with your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm done.
Thoughts and prayers.
I guess I'll go.
Okay.
I feel a couple different ways about this because it is the second time I watched it. I enjoyed it better the second time because the first time watching it by myself, I about 3 times I've watched this because the first time I watched it, I fell asleep. The second time I watched it,
it was late.
Okay, we'll go with that. It was late. The second time I watched it, I, was still by myself watching it, but I was so confused. It really did confuse me a lot. And so I said, okay, you know what? We're doing it on the show. I can't wait to see what everyone else says, about, what's really going on. Because I just wasn't getting it, that, oh, okay, you're gonna bring back this kid, and say that he's his son, and all I remember from the first one is just you know the son and the mother and in a field walking while he was in that field walking around, and he how much he cared for his son. So to see this one and he's like they're like, oh yeah, he loved his son, he loved this guy or whatever. I'm like, who the hell are you? I don't know, and it was it would have been better seeing the ghost of Russell Crowe to me, for him to explain to me what the hell is really going on. Um, I I would still tell someone else to watch it, but I it was like it I like the cinema. I I don't know how I felt about the guy that played the son. I uh, I don't know if I can't really say he didn't like pique my interest because he was a short guy. All these guys they were short. Like I had
Hey,
said,
hey, hey!
you
Don't
had
be
to be
hating on
short.
short people.
Listen,
Do
there
not
was
be hating on a
there
bunch
was
of
a
short people.
brother. I think he just passed that brother in there who's like 6'5". Okay, standing next to this little freaking shrimp, like he can kick his ass. Really,
Could have.
really?
Good.
Oh, come on. I can't. I just can't. That's just not right. It's not right. Uh, like I said, I liked the movie. I just wasn't getting the. I just don't think that they. You know what it was? I think it had to be the script writers that they used, because they didn't make everything feel right compared to the first movie. And there were a lot of people that just didn't want to be in this movie. It seemed to me, you know. So no, this is wait, hold on, this is yeah. I liked it, but I didn't like it. It was like a soft play for me. Sorry, Jason. Like I said, it just wasn't doing it for me. You know,
Well, they definitely don't. I think it's maybe over halfway through before they finally explain how he's connected to
right,
who his mom is, and then you're realizing who his dad is, and
right. And that should have been they should have done some type of thing in the beginning of the movie saying, okay, you know what, this guy is the son of him, and his mother is over here, and explain something to me. Just don't
Well,
throw me into this like it was they were taking off from the end of the last movie. I was just like, "Oh, why are you doing that to me?"
I agree that they could have been a little bit better explained, but um but I didn't remember the love affair between Maximus and
Right.
the print the not the queen,
Empress, I think.
the emperor, whatever. I didn't remember them being in love. There seemed like there was chemistry, but you knew that he had a wife that wasn't there. So I wish they would have done a scene or some flashbacks that you would have seen them together,
Right.
as a flashback of them together. I do remember. I thought she had a boy in the first movie, and it makes sense of him being sent away. And but what bothered me in this movie was Denzel. Denzel played like he was playing a pimp
Right.
in Gladiator times. And his acting and his the way he carried himself was distracting from the movie to me. His not having any type of an accent distracted from me. If he'd have had that, not that we're expecting him to speak Roman, but kind of have that British, how when we go back to old movies like this, even if it's, they'll have like a British or even an Italian accent, just a little bit.
Right.
But Denzel had no accent. I mean, he was straight New York accent. I mean, it was nothing. And so between his accent not having that period sound that I'm looking for, and him just his whole mannerisms of everything didn't fit the movie. So to me, when we talk about this movie, which wasn't a bad movie, but maybe it's not good because we put the wrong characters, the wrong actors in these roles. Denzel, marvelous actor. I mean, I can't. There's so few movies that I can say that I've watched at Denzel that I'd be like, I couldn't recommend that movie because it wasn't good. So few. Most of his movies, he's gonna knock it out of the park because that's Denzel. He's just that good. This role, I don't know if he's trying too hard or if he had this whole persona that he was gonna play. You know, it just didn't feel genuine. So because it didn't feel genuine, it was even when I saw him acting each time in his, and he's doing all the trying to, I want to be looking good, and I mean, other than having the gold teeth, he didn't have the crunk. That was the only thing he was missing. But he just didn't have that. Didn't feel genuine. Didn't feel like this is the look you want to be having for this role. So that was distracting for me. The rest of it, yeah, the storyline, okay, I was fine with it. I like the action. Yeah, the monkey scene when the baboons are out there and they're fighting, and he kills the one baboon, and then it's all over. And I'm like, well, what happened to all the other baboons? Did they just like die, or didn't somebody else get credit for not dying and killing a baboon? Because there was a whole bunch of people there. So I liked it. I like the action. I think that the movie is a good movie. It's just maybe we didn't have the right people in the roles, or maybe we should have said, Denzel, can we dial it back just a little bit? Just pull it back, because we don't need full Denzel. We just need like, 3/4 Denzel. So again, the phallic symbols here, that was distracting every time I saw the Coliseum. I don't know what they looked like to you. I know what they looked like to me every time I looked at that.
What?
The poles.
Oh, the poles.
The columns.
The columns. I mean, I expect to see that.
Exactly. I don't know. That exact shape, I don't know. They were...
What do you mean, what exact shape?
Well, don't worry about it, Auburn. Okay. That's me and my brain. My brain goes there about
He's
stuff.
saying they all look like dicks.
Okay. No, I
it looked more like a vibrator. It looks like a vibrator.
Okay. Well, all those Italian women were having these short guys to go with, and then they had the brothers that were on the field that they were with. They got, and they were using the brothers to make those columns.
Oh my gosh! No, you didn't. Short guys, man. I just can't believe you just tossed that shit out there like that. But
it's the truth, right?
No, it's not the truth.
Come on.
It is not
the
truth.
Little guy is sit there and fool a rhinoceros. That, I'm sorry, if a rhinoceros runs into a wall, he's gonna come back at you. Okay,
It knocked the shit out of him. That rhinoceros
would never happen.
He was under concussion protocol.
The most that
he
would happen.
Had a concussion.
No,
he was hurt.
No,
broke his nose.
To him is his horn would break off, and he's gonna turn around and be mad as hell. Okay, and he's gonna take out everything that's in there. How are you gonna have a rhinoceros that's just gonna say, okay, I'm just gonna go after this one guy. The guy that's riding on top of my back, he falls, and I'm not going to go back and stomp on him? No. Sorry, that's what would happen. It would have killed everyone in that arena.
Well, I'm just saying that rhinoceros was hurt. Concussion. Concussion protocol. He had the next 2 weeks off.
Yeah. At least he gets 2 weeks off.
Man, I gotta watch everything I say in this show. But that's my thoughts on it. Again, it had its points, but a few things could have been just a little bit different.
I think this is an issue that might have been an issue for the movie here with Paul Mescal. He didn't go and talk with Russell Crowe about the movie, to influence his performance. I think he should have.
Mm. Yeah, probably.
Especially for it to be his first big studio movie.
Hey, did you notice in this they used the same scene a bunch of times that they would draw their arrows back on the crowd?
Right.
And they did it like multiple times. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was like, "Huh?" And then about 10, 15 minutes later, "Huh?" It's like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? You only get one arrow and there's
Right.
thousands of people there. You're gonna get killed. So
Well,
you might just say,
Well, I know with me, and I could shoot if I could shoot an arrow really good. I'm sorry, I'm gonna hit the main guy. The main guy that's sitting up there that's doing the thumb thing. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm taking you out because either way, if I'm gonna die, I'm making sure you're going right before me. Okay, because that's just ugh.
see, they look at blowing. They're just trying to piss the monkeys off.
Yeah. Listen, you can't fight a monkey. You can take a tiny monkey, and it is gonna mess you up. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
a monkey
yeah.
will mess you up, and those are baboons. That even worse. Okay, how the heck are you gonna stop
Yeah.
one of them?
Yeah, but the one that attacked him was that the dominant baboon?
The alpha.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
think that was the
The
alpha.
alpha. You got rid of the alpha.
Everyone else scattered out of the way so the two of them can fight. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
baboons are all gonna jump on top of him and kill him.
Yeah, I was gonna say there should have been more than one baboon on him.
No, the baboons were fighting Marcus of Queensberry rules.
What was it I had there that said something about baboons? Yeah, here we go. To film the baboon sequence, Sir Ridley Scott cast 12 very small stuntmen.
Well, Todd could have been up there.
Yeah, he could have been one.
Damn you guys. You know what? I mean, shots fired on this damn show. Ain't been nothing but shots fired. I'm like ducking and dodging. Short man jokes. Little unit jokes. He done. Alvin done said I got a little unit.
No, I didn't. I didn't
You
say
did.
that.
You said short guys. What? Why?
Well, no, I'm saying that the women took brothers, okay? Because it goes back in time. I know there's history story.
It goes back
With all
in time.
It does. With all with the black guys that came into Italy, right? Right?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
I know you weren't there, but
I can't speak.
There was something with the brothers, the kinky hair,
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So the brothers came in, and they took care of the women there. That's why they cook so much now. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? We gotta move
They
on to
gotta
this.
feed. They know they gotta feed.
See, his comments like that is why Blue doesn't come on the show.
Yeah. Like, I gotta get her to come verify some facts. But
Ooh.
all right. So let's go ahead and let's looking over in the side chat. I don't see anybody else chiming in on thoughts and this and that on this movie. I mean, maybe they've watched this movie so far back. So about what did this movie make money? How about that? How about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on.
400 million?
Yeah. Hold on. I gotta get the thing here. No, not you. Okay, it was 460 million.
Mhm.
Yeah.
380,000.
Well, that was incentives. But I'm just wondering if they,
Oh no
if
no
they
no no! If
made
you
a
look
profit.
below, look below.
Yeah, it
Oh, there it goes.
made
Okay, I see now.
about 150 million. It made in
Okay.
profit.
All right.
Right.
Okay. All right. So just curious if it made money. So this
Did you
aspect
guys
of the show.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you guys hang around to watch all the credits at the end?
Not really. Why did something happen at the end?
Well, I was looking for the special effects department, and
Uh-huh.
holy shit, man! They had a lot of people with
Yeah.
special effects in there.
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah,
'Cause
well,
there was
they,
a lot of stuff.
they weren't messing around when they said that, okay, well, we're not gonna, he said, well, I think that Ridley Scott said something about he's not gonna spend that much money on the special effects opposed to having people in there. I think he had said, or something to that thing there.
Well, I read that when the scene with the guy riding the rhinoceros, I mean, eventually put it in the CG, but when they were filming it, it said they 3D printed a rhinoceros and controlled it by remote control when they were initially filming the scene. So the actor could have something to react to, and then they could CGI in the actual thing.
I didn't mind the rhino. You guys were hating on the rhino.
I mean, it just.
That's not the way I would have been fighting it. Okay, I'll tell you that. He was so short, he was able to duck down underneath the sword.
He could have ducked underneath it as it ran
sorry,
over.
I would have waited for the rhino to come near me, and I would have jabbed him in the side. I know they have really thick skin, but I would have tried.
No, what would have been funny if he'd have ducked down, go underneath the rhino, and get knocked out by the rhino's ball sack.
You guys are terrible. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're gonna go and do the voting on this. And so, how this voting works is, play means you would recommend this. You know some people that you could recommend this movie to. Pass is that you don't want your name anywhere near this movie. You give it a big fat pass. So we're going to run through the panel here. You guys over in the side chat, please chime in with your play or pass. And I'll start with Eddie. You're going to give this movie, Gladiator 2, a play or pass.
I give it a play.
Give it a play. So we got a play from Eddie. Da Beach, what do you think of Gladiator 2, a play or a pass?
With all the shit movies we've had, this was the best. It was play. Was not as good as the original, but hey, I'll give it a play.
Yeah. Redneck agrees with you there. Big Daddy Spider, what do you think? Play or pass for Gladiator 2?
I give it a play. But I agree, not as good as the first one, but still not bad overall. It's definitely, if you haven't watched the first one, you'll probably not like the second one, though, for certain.
Alvin, what you think?
It's a soft play for me, but like I said, it was just that I was confused. I wish they would have, explained some stuff to me. I especially for a movie that's the second. You're gonna want a bunch of new people to get into that franchise, and nobody really knows nothing.
And what 20 plus years later too.
Yeah,
this movie, it wasn't.
Yeah,
like
there's a lot of people that didn't watch the first one. Although it was a great movie, I loved the first one. That's why I was all gung ho to watch it, and then I've given it 3 chances now, and I just didn't do it for me.
Okay.
But it's a play. But it was a play though.
It was a play.
It's a soft play. It was a soft play.
As some of the guys said, I did watch this. I did watch the first one, the first time I saw this movie, I watched Gladiator 1 or the Gladiator about a week prior. Now, Gladiator to me is in the top 20, 25 movies of all times for me. I mean, I've seen it that many times. It is a great movie. So I'd seen it about a week prior to watching Gladiator 2 because I was trying to prep myself when Gladiator 2 dropped. And then I watched it and I was like, it was a letdown. I mean, a major letdown. So definitely not as good as the first. There was just so many aspects of it that were the first one was better, but it's good enough. It's good, just not great. So when you're compared against the top 25 movies of all time, it's hard for another movie to hit in for my mind to hit close to that, and it didn't. Nowhere even close. But would I recommend it? Yeah, I can recommend this to people, and I think that most people would enjoy it enough and not pick it apart like sometimes we tend to do. So I give it a play. So Alvin, so when you do the Telegram picks, what do we got over there?
It's 12 plays, 5 passes.
Oh, that was closer than I thought. All right. All right, so Gladiator 2 got to play. So, all right, so well, I mean, not a horrible movie. We've had a lot of horrible movies lately, so not bad. So now we got Sinners next week. So
not
just
looking forward to it. Not looking forward to it, but we'll see
Me
what
either.
happens. Hopefully, and I think what bothers me is that Michael B. Jordan. You know, I watched him as a kid growing up. You know, to see him in in The Wire. You know, I loved him. Fell in love with the kid. And at that point I said, you know what, this kid is going to grow up to be a really great actor, because you know he commanded the screen when he was young.
Yeah.
And then and then also he was in that Friday Night Lights. He came in that.
Yeah.
He's great in that. And then I don't know if someone his team hyped him up too much for something, and all of a sudden, he blew up to be, this great actor. He got all kinds of parts, and then I just felt that he wasn't doing what he should be. And I know that a lot of women liked him and stuff like that, and doing the Rocky movies and all that, but
I thought he was good in Black Panther.
And that was one I didn't like. Guys know I didn't really care for the Black Panther too much, because the whole accent thing and everything, I didn't do it for me.
Well, I think I think you're right. I mean, he's got some talent, but it's like they slam him. I mean, that man ain't got no time off. That man he in one movie after another. I mean, he is not taking no time off and giving anybody else.
Yeah, there's
nobody else.
Right.
And nobody else is getting a job because that mug got a job. So I think he's just picking too many scripts, and he's not picking the ones that he can really get into and play. And so he's machine gunning it. Like who am I thinking of? The white guy, the one guy, Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Kind of like a Nicolas Cage in a way, where does a bad script pass by you, or everyone's like, yeah, I'll take that one.
Yeah.
I just think he needs to be pickier. And I'll have to say, the last 5 or 6 movies at least that I've watched them, it's cringy.
Yeah.
It's cringy. It's like when I'm seeing him talk, I'm like, oh, I don't believe you. I don't believe you're who your character is. You're just So I've not seen this movie. And now the digital copy's out, we'll watch it.
Right. And I think that the problem with that also is that these directors are reading these screenplays. They're saying, oh, okay, I think that okay, he's going to be perfect for it. And I want him. I want him. Okay, I want him.
He's a name.
Right.
Yeah,
He's going to say, I want him, and he doesn't look at the other guy that's trying to come out that might be really good at the film. You know what I'm saying?
Might be the right fit
Right
for the
fit.
role.
Right. And a lot of these directors aren't doing that. It's either they're not doing that or somebody owes someone a favor and that person has to go in the film.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
And
know?
there's pressure in Hollywood.
Yeah, but
because the producer is going to say, "Hey, I'm willing to bankroll this for a certain amount. I want names. They're going to put butts in the seats that I can guarantee that there's going to be seats. Don't take a chance on a new guy because maybe he's not going to make it."
But I'd rather have a guy.
Yeah, but it's not your money.
Who's unknown, right? I know, but I'd rather have a guy that's unknown and doesn't put as many people in the seats compared to a guy that's put 8 million people in the seats and nobody likes it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. And then the poor guy who wrote the story is screwed because here he put his life's work into writing something, and that could have been great, and then you get the wrong person in there, and everyone's going to say, "Oh, it was crap."
Well, it's him and Ryan Coogler together. That's the combination that when a movie studio hears that, they're like, here's a blank check.
Yeah.
Because they know the movie's gonna make money, whether it's good or not. There's enough of them that they've done together that they know it's a combination that works.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna see. This is again, none of us have seen this movie. It just dropped digitally, and not the cams and not the web rips that have been out previous. Because some people say, "Oh, it's been out." Well, wasn't a good copy. And I tend to, unless it's a legitimate digital good copy, I'm not wasting my money or time watching something with some bad sound or because then that throws the whole movie off. So now that it is out in good quality, we can watch it. I think it's even in 4K, so people will be able to watch it. So anybody, if we want to cover any other TV shows or movies that are outside of our wheel here that you guys might recommend to everybody that's over in the side chat, you guys, if there's some stuff you guys would recommend. So go ahead, Dave.
So they're talking about TV shows. I just saw that Loretta Swit passed away from MASH, Hot Lips.
Yeah.
Just saw that.
She just passed away?
Yes, today.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
87.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I just saw him.
But I mean, that was back in the day.
Yeah.
Kid, that was must see TV.
Oh yeah.
MASH.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love MASH.
Yeah.
What a cast, and every one of them, did something with their lives.
You got to watch that documentary that was on MASH.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name. That was a really good documentary. If you're anybody or close to our age that remembers watching MASH, how groundbreaking that show was. The things it did, the topics it tackled, the things that it brought forth to an 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock. I think it was 8 o'clock audience.
8 and 9. Yeah.
It was the topics it brought up. Nobody else was talking about.
Right.
It was pushing the edge of what was being discussed. And I don't remember that there's a documentary. It came out, a couple years, 2 or 3 years
No, not
back.
even something, maybe 2 years.
It was really, really good. The documentary was fabulous to understand what was going on by the directors, by CBS. I think CBS owned it.
With CBS.
What was going on with CBS and the pressure CBS was having for them broadcasting it. And they're like, well, what do you think about Radar, who had a messed up hand? Very few people knew that Radar had like a deformed hand, because he would always show on this side of his body, and he would hand it. But he was it was kind of real small and deformed. And the whole transgender doing the with what was his name? Klinger.
Yeah.
Again, nobody was talking like this kind of stuff, but that show did, and beautiful acting, scripts were good, so a great show. I watched it every afternoon.
Side Chat is a documentary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the name of the documentary. Yeah.
All right. So, what about the farmer show, the Clarkson's Farm? Have any of you guys? Because I've been wanting to start it, but I haven't started.
I haven't started yet either.
Neither. I want to start it, and I said, let me wait for a couple of episodes.
Yeah.
Because that's great TV. That really is.
There's just 2 more just drops that are side.
Yeah. I mean, it's just Jeremy Clarkson. I mean, he just cracks me up. I mean, he's just and he's always about buying the bigger, faster. I want the best. I want a Lamborghini tractor.
Yep.
That's like there's just so many. But I also think they do a real good job of making people realize how close to broke farmers have to be every single day. Farming is not somewhere you're going to get rich, because the margins are so close that doing it nowadays and trying to be, following all the restrictions and governments, this and that, you're never going to be rich doing this. And you're one step away from being broke if the weather goes bad, or you planted too early, you planted too late. So it does give you more respect to these people.
But look at the situation right now. Farmers are right now getting ready to plant, but they don't know what to plant, because are they going to be banned in the United States? Or, is it going to be, I don't know, can you find other, people to buy their product? There's a lot of people, I think, who are going to go broke this year. And even a lot of people, their families, don't want to take over the There's a lot of family, the younger generation don't want to get into farming because of that.
No. Well, it's hard work. A hard work, and there's no guarantee. Even if you bust your ass for years, you can bust your ass for 20 years, and one bad season could cost you. Yeah. And then, and that's also why we have subsidies. People, when some of that government stuff, and they talked about, we're going to cut off this subsidies and that subsidies. You better make sure, I don't care what country you live in, you better make sure you're farming and creating food for your people. Because if you depend on another country for all your food, the Romans did that, and it was one of the major parts that caused their civilization to crumble when they had owned so much of the world, because they didn't depend on stuff locally or themselves. So you're having to depend on somebody else for your food. You know what? You got to have food. I don't need a new TV, but I best have some food to keep going. So you got to take care of your people and farmers. And he talks about in the show about subsidies, the UK government, and if he grows this, they're willing to give him this amount of money to help. So I mean, and that's there for a reason, to keep farmers so that they can afford to keep going. And they've talked about, what was it, last year when he talked about how much fertilizer went up.
Yep.
It's like fertilizer doubled in cost in 1 year. Like, what? Think about it. I mean, you can't. How do you absorb that? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this. We haven't watched any episodes, so 4 episodes are out. I'm definitely looking forward to watching some of those episodes.
Anybody get into the Duster?
Not yet.
No.
Yeah, I seen it. I
I'm
seen it
3
out there.
episodes in.
Yeah.
Okay,
Are you
What
liking it?
thinking
Starting to grow on me. I don't know for how long though.
The Duster. I did work through. I worked through some more of Mobland. I think I'm one episode away from being
Oh,
done.
okay. All right.
And
you liked it
I like it.
all the way
I
through?
like it. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I like it. I mean, it you know, you're not going to be watching this with the grandkids all sitting,
Right.
kumbaya. I mean, it's
Mhm.
mob shit and
Okay.
bad shit happens to people. But Helen Mirren, I think she does a brilliant job in this. It is, and I like Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy's great.
Mhm.
So it's a fun show. I enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to the last episode because that's all I got left is one more.
Anybody?
They haven't.
Yeah. Go ahead, Eddie.
They haven't decided yet if they want to make a season 2, of Mobland.
Oh,
It's still up in the air.
Well, it's coming from the UK. You know them. So just
Uh,
make it a couple episodes and put it and done. Take your money. No
it's
matter.
made by MTV. MTV made this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Paramount.
Yeah.
Did anyone? I think I asked you, Todd, about *Handmaid's Tale*.
Yep.
Did anybody watch the final?
Not final. I'm
No.
a couple episodes into this season.
Then I won't say nothing. I'll wait till after you watch it.
I only got 2 episodes done so far.
Okay.
Yeah, we're a couple episodes into this season.
Okay.
And,
All right. Then I'll
we'll
wait.
keep watching it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll wait because I need to talk to somebody about it.
I need to talk to somebody. Hey,
Yeah.
that's
Because because it was a series finale. You know what I mean?
mhm.
And so that's why I need to talk about it.
I got you.
Have any of you watched Long Way Home?
No.
Only Home. It's a movie or a TV show?
It's a series
Series?
with Ewan McGregor and Charlie Burrows.
That wasn't the one with the motorcycle riding through the mountain.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I watched it. There's a couple of them. Just so
Yeah.
you know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's a couple of them. Yeah. I watched that.
They just had a new one out where they go across Europe this time.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Okay.
Mhm.
So it's kind of neat. They stop at different towns and do
Mhm.
the little festivals and stuff like
Yeah.
that while they're riding around on vintage motorcycles.
Yeah. Then they've done that. Love doing that. Yeah, that's the one. Knew it sounded familiar to me. On the movie note, did anyone watch Nona's yet? NONNAS?
Nona.
I haven't watched it, but I had a friend who I was talking to said that he and his wife enjoyed it.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, good. Because
Yeah, because it was one of those I'm looking at stuff and I'm like, oh, Vince Vaughn, look at that. And when I saw Netflix, I was like,
I know you. Yeah.
no, pass. Pass. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. Then I was like reading it. I'm like, I know there's
Right.
one. There's a person on my Plex who loves like Hallmark movies and stuff.
Mhm.
So I was
Mhm.
like, fine, I'll toss it on there just for them.
Mhm.
And then I was talking to her husband. Oh, he really liked that movie. Now those things are putting that on. I'm like, yeah. I said, and I told him, I said, I initially passed, but I knew that would probably be something your wife would like.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I see.
My alley.
I
Also.
see Netflix on a movie, immediate pass.
Yeah. There's another one that came out that Chloe Fineman did from Saturday Night Live, Summer of '69.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I want to watch that one. It looks pretty good. You know, hopefully she gets the right because I think that she must have actually read a script. You know what I mean? And this other kid that's in it with her she was really good in that other movie that she did. What the hell was the name of it? I can't remember the name of the movie. But I wanna check out that Summer of '69. I think because I like Chloe Fineman. I think that she'll do a really good job in it.
Anybody waiting to see Karate Kid, the new one that just came out in theaters, I think this week.
You know what?
Hell to the no.
Hell to the no for you. You know what it is?
No, thank
I
you.
didn't watch any of that new Karate Kid series, right? And today, on live was Ralph Macchio talking about the film, and when they were showing some parts of the film there, I said, "You know what? I think I'd like to watch this." I never knew that the other kid that's portraying him, you know, actually looks like him a bit. You know what I mean? And I said, you know what? Maybe I can get it. Maybe it might bring me into going back and watching that whole other series that you guys have been telling me I need to watch.
Hmm.
You know, so I'll give it a try.
Kumbaya.
My boys worked.
Cobra Kai, yeah.
My boys worked about 2 days, I think, on this Karate Kid.
Oh, okay.
Because this was being produced by one of the opposite competitors to where they normally work. So when he was in a fix, he needed 2 guys. He called on my boys.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to see if they get any credits at the end.
For the 2 days.
Yeah.
2 days.
They should, because are they on IMDb, your sons?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then they should get credit then.
Yeah.
Does
They haven't
anyone
updated the site on MDB.
Okay.
They should.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you.
Okay. Has anyone watched Rust? Or
No.
not? No.
No.
Another hell to the no.
Yeah, I don't plan on watching it.
Has anyone watched it out there? You know, in the side chat? Let me see. What was that other one? Is that Mob Cop?
Yeah, I didn't.
There was another one movie, Mob Cops. Who was in that? It was David Arquette and I can't remember who the other guy was. Kevin Connolly. Yeah, because I haven't seen him in something in a while, and they're doing this, you know, mobbed up cop thing. So I don't know if anyone watched it.
It was funny how when I'm looking at the track list and all those Final Destinations,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, all of those are trending because
Yeah,
people-
yeah.
because
I
of the-
watched. I
because of
rewatched them all also.
I don't think I've seen one of them.
No.
Yeah, I've
No.
watched them, and I mean, but I ain't going back and watching them multiple times. That's
No, I did. I did. I pulled the
Nah.
blue,
yeah.
but we did it in big
pulled-
screen, no less.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
So all right, well we're at 7:00.
Yeah.
So, Alvin, anything? Did we have any other events that you wanted to mention?
No other events. I think I got all the shows that I was thinking of. I have to watch a couple this weekend. I'm back to watching movies opposed to TV shows right now,
Okay.
and I just want to give a shout out to the developers,
Yeah.
for what we talked about in the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
It's it'd be great to see some other guys come up with some stuff, because the new kids, with everything else, they have different thoughts on things. They look at things differently than we do.
Yep.
Like older people, So who knows what they might come up with, Because I spoke with you before about that, Todd. You remember I was like, well, maybe we need to find a way to build something new that will be easier for everyone to get everything, a lot easier. So
No, we don't need easier. Easier will bring more freaking
more people,
RPs
I know,
into
that's
Kodi,
true.
and
That's
we don't want them in Kodi. We're
Yeah.
fine with the way it is. Kodi became complicated. That's why they started releasing all these streaming APKs, and
Yeah.
all those RPs went to streaming APKs, and they're fine over there. Because
Mhm.
ever since then, Kodi, knock on wood, has worked. Other than we had the real debris hiccup there.
And
In my
Premiumize
opinion,
was down
it-
for 3 hours last night, and people were
Yeah, well,
messaging
I mean,
me
Yeah.
3
I,
hours.
I would say ever since TV add-ons was taken down and people went over to APKs, in
Mhm.
my opinion, Kodi hasn't run it the last 5 years. It's been better than it's ever been.
Right.
Yeah, true.
Co-
All right.
like
well,
you say, Cody for life.
Cody for life, right?
Like
Cody is
Cody's
dead.
dead. Cody's dead. For all of us that
Flex it
remember,
up,
Cody,
everyone.
Cody's
Flex
dead.
it up.
Flex. Yeah, and I already done finished my whole drink, so I gotta get another one. So.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Eddie, anything you want to say before we head out of here? Bro?
No, good show, but I'd like to talk to you after the show about my lagging of my PC. It's
Yeah,
bugging me.
Yeah. Not just you.
Yeah.
Beach, anything you want to say before we go?
I hope Sinners sucks because I don't want it being only my fucking two piece of shit movies being on the worst picks of the fucking season. Because, we need some more shit movies I can bitch about.
That's right. Russell said somebody woke up on the wrong side of the bed there.
No,
Yeah.
he wakes
all
up on that side all the time.
right. That's right. That's just a normal thing.
Yeah.
All right, Big Daddy, anything you want to say before we go?
All right, great show, guys. Everyone, make sure you like, subscribe, share, join the Telegram group, get an Oculus, have fun with us and big screen watching these fights and shows. And
100%.
Yeah.
Mr. Alvin?
Thanks, everyone. See you next week. We'll be doing that movie
On Thursday?
on Thursday night. And Blue is supposed to be there. Oh, no. I
she'll
just
be there.
remembered something.
You're not going to
Oh.
be around.
No.
Uh-oh. Well, we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
No
we'll have to
problem, I
watch
can
it
do
earlier.
it.
We'll just watch it earlier. Watch it.
No.
Maybe we can watch it
No.
earlier.
No, we couldn't. We couldn't.
We
We
can watch it Monday.
I'd like to. We'll see.
Oh.
We'll see.
All right.
We'll
We'll
discuss.
talk. We'll talk.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, but again, thoughts to my man over here. Maybe not. We'll see. Thoughts and prayers out to him. Feeling a little under the weather. So you get better.
Yep.
And thanks to everyone on the panel. appreciate you guys coming and joining us each week. Where you're able to come here for free and you enjoy hanging out and fattening your resume so that you may use it later on in a paying job. Thanks everyone that hangs with us for 2 hours as we bullshit through tech news as well as movies and TV. It means a lot to us that you guys hang out with us. So streaming matters to us because streaming matters to you. We'll see you guys on.
Curtains falling on the screen. Hope you laughed and learned a bit. Had some fun and skipped routine. Time to close this crazy shit. Thanks for tuning in, my friends. But it's time to say goodbye. Through the streams and download set. But now it's time for us to fly. Information, picked up tips and tricks to enjoy. But now we leave this online station. It's time to pack up every toy. Thanks for tuning in, my friends. But it's time for us to fly. Through the streams and download set, you can kiss my ass goodbye.
Right.